Hey y'all, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? It's Saturday. Um, what is it giving? I said I was coming back because um, I started my live and it was fine. And then my son was like, girl, no, probably not. So, y'all might have to watch. I mean, y'all might have to listen to my podcast because he sort of interrupted. So the beginning part, um, I don't know. Y'all might have to. Y'all probably gonna have to listen to it on a podcast because he was like not having it. So that part is gonna be on a podcast. But I try to start it on YouTube. So for my YouTube people that want to listen to the podcast, but with basically what I was talking about. So, what the beginning of what I was talking about, I could finish some of it up here, but I'm probably gonna finish the rest on my podcast. So you guys can go check out my podcast um, to get like the full whole shebang of listening. But basically, the guy that was on, I think the shade room, basically having 7 different kids, him wanting to basically pay, no, him actually paying for abortions, some of the women getting them, some of the women not getting them, and then I think 2 out of like 7 of them basically trying to bash him, basically everybody in the comments of course trying to bash him basically, and feeling like, all right, since you a woman you should agree. I feel like if he tell you that he don't want the baby, if he tell you that they both, he understand that, he took responsibility that we both were um having unprotected sex, we both are at full. He's not saying like, oh, I'm at full and she's not or whatever. Like they both took responsibility for basically their actions, but he don't want to take it any further, and he's offering to pay for the abortion. So some of them did, some of them didn't, and basically the kids I think are older now, and 2 of them like being together or something like that, basically to bash him and talk about him, talk down on him, whatever the case may be. I don't feel like he's wrong. I don't feel like men are wrong. I feel like men are wrong when they lead you on and when they tell you, they promise you a fairy tale, or they act like stuff is gonna be this way or stuff is gonna be that way, and that's not really what it is. But if he tells you what it is, he tells you that he's not for it, he tells you that that's something that he don't want to do. Now if he say, okay, whether when if you have the child, I'm going to be there, or whatever the case may be, that's different. But if he tells you like, I'm not going to be around, this not something that I want you to get abortion, and you feel like, okay, well, I still want to keep this baby whether you're around or not. And most of the time us as women, we're going to feel like that you should be around and most likely expect. But there are some men, and it's been going on for ages, before 2023, before 2022, 2021, so on. Like this been going on for a long time, whereas some women feel like they need to prove a point, and they keep the baby thinking that the man is going to be there and going to probably change by the time you have the baby or whatever. But sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. So if the ball is in your corner like that, where he's basically stating and saying that that's not what you want to do, and you feel like you still want to have the baby anyway, you can't be mad at him or fault him or try to basically be trying to keep bashing him because he he's not being a father, because he already told you that that's not what he wanted to do and he wasn't going to do that. Now it's different if he said something totally different, but with this guy, he's basically said it. They were aware of it and aware of, I think, like the other baby mothers or something that, like, I think was going through it or something like that. So if he told you that and you were aware of it and you decided to still kind of ignore all of that, and I'm still gonna have this baby anyway, either you want to prove a point to him or prove a point to you, and he turns around and still stands on what he said, you can't be mad because he's standing on what he told you. And I feel like he's not wrong, but I seen a lot of people like arguing, and a lot of people saying that he's so wrong, he shouldn't do that, this and that. You shouldn't, because at the end of the day, that's still your child. But at the end of the day, it is some men who are like that, and like I said, it's been going on for years. So we as women have to stop putting a bull in their corner so much, or have to stop feeling like um it's kind of like the men, because sometimes you gotta think about too, like when our friends, girlfriends, whatever the case may be, sometimes will be like, oh girl, I just had a abortion or something down the line, and they be like, they had it because at the time it wasn't good for them, at the time it wasn't working for them. We ain't harassing them later on like, oh, you were so wrong for getting that abortion majority of the time. So we shouldn't kind of be like that with the men, but sometimes the men, it always flips. Sometimes we get this shitty end of the stick, sometimes they do it go back and forth. But I personally, and everybody is entitled to their opinion, everybody is entitled to how they feel, but I just feel like if a man tell you that that's not what he want to do, or something that he don't want, and you're trying to force it on him, we gotta stop trying to force people to do stuff. Like, when people don't want to do something, or they're not with something, like, we as women have to just understand that it's all right, it's okay. You can, you're entitled to feel however you want to feel, and we just gotta, do what we gotta do. And if he isn't around or whatever, you just gotta stand on that. You said that regardless, you was gonna be a mom and do whatever you're gonna do, whether he was there or not. So now that it actually is reality, don't be trying to double back because you said what you said. You was still feeling on how you felt. So stand on how you feel. Stand on what you was saying. Don't try to, flip the script now. Because he's basically actually showing you that he meant what he said. So you need to mean what you say and put on your big girl panties. And not to sound so harsh, but that's how sometimes people take it. Like, gotta be a realist. It is what it is. It shouldn't have, happen the way that it was, but this is what happens sometimes when you have kids with people that you don't know, sometimes, or people that you do know. But it was just, hey, sometimes it was like, sometimes it'd be situations where, like, all right, it was a good time and you guys weren't in a relationship and you just decided to keep the baby and you move on, you do what you gotta do, you such and such. And then you got some women who feel like they want to keep the baby to actually feel like, oh, they have attachment to him and make his life live in hell and this, that, and the third, or whatever the case may be, and call him all types of this and that. He already said that he didn't want nothing to do with it. And then you got some people who had a situation where they was doing whatever they was doing, but they came to an agreement of, okay, well, we gonna raise this baby together, or we're gonna co-parent, but we're not together, and I'm gonna be there. And then you got other situations where they be like, I'm not gonna be there at all. If you have that baby, you on your own, point blank period. And you think like, oh, when the baby get here, he might change his mind, he might actually be here. No, sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. But to each his own. But basically, just sum it up, that's basically my opinion, what I think. I don't think that the guy was wrong. I think that, like I said, us as women need to stop putting the bull in their corner anyway, you need to stop putting yourself in certain situations like that. And he admitted that he was, wrong, and he wasn't being responsible, and she did too. So you can't really be mad at the guy all the time, okay? Don't be mad at the men all the time, because women have to take responsibility as well. And I know a lot of people, this might be a trigger for them, they might not like what I'm saying, but it's true. So I don't know. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good Saturday. I'm gonna have one. Little boy finally went to sleep, so I think I'm about to chill, probably find me something to watch, but I'll talk to y'all later.